Welcome.
Welcome. My name is Philip Kolianos, and this is Jump Ship. So I'm Philip, the game director of Keepsake Games. And
My name is Daniel. I'm the CEO here at Keepsake and the producer and janitor, I guess. Yeah.
yeah, I see like a lot of people are joining us, so we could like just talk a bit. Maybe not officially start just yet. So like, great turnout actually. It's like a lot of people. I did not
Yeah.
expect that.
So this is our first ever
Yeah.
stream. So bear with us for technical issues. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope we're recording, right? We're supposed to record this
Yes,
session.
we are recording this.
So yeah, if you miss out on something, don't worry about it. We're gonna share it.
Cool. So what are we gonna do today, Philip?
Yeah, so I don't remember who it was. Somebody put together a really great list of all the features and suggestions in the game. We've had a lot of fun talking about it, and the list also kind of contains a lot of stuff that made us think maybe it's good that we go through what the game actually is
Right.
one more time,
Right, yeah.
to kind of create a nice context to the conversation, and then have a
Mhm.
look at the list, have some fun, just uh, enjoy going through whatever crazy ideas you guys have come up with that we should put into the game.
Sure.
Right.
Let's start with the sharing the screen. Can you do that as well?
That I can.
Yeah,
Let's see.
the 60 FPS maybe. Can you choose that?
So 60.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. Or source. I don't know.
1080 is enough.
Sure.
Yeah.
Go live.
All
All
right.
right. So I think before going through the feature list, we should just give you guys a quick brief explanation of the core mechanics of the game and what the game really is.
Yeah.
So bear in mind now, obviously, we're actually showing this live in the editor. This is, FPS, all these things is not representative. But we really wanted to show you, it's like, even if we're gonna sit in here and drink beer and talk crap for an hour, like at least you get some in-game video and some explanation. So, Jump Ship, as you probably already know, is a four-player co-op game, PvE. So we play together, fighting AI bad guys. You can play alone as well, and you have a spaceship. That's your sort of collective Diablo character that we keep upgrading the ship, and if the ship blows up, we've lost. So it's almost like a fifth character that we all have to take care of and enjoy.
And in the ship, there is this core. You probably saw the prompt just now that said something. And that core is the energy source or soul of the ship, so to say.
Exactly. So it's like an AI that kind of helps you along.
Yeah.
And as you can see, the game is most of the time first person, but sometimes we shift perspective depending on what you do. So I thought right now we've just started a mission. So the game is mission based, meaning we've skipped the part now where you press play on the game and you start in a lobby, which is a hangar. In the hangar, you can pick a loadout, you can pick your ship,
Right.
you can pick a helmet and sort of
Suits.
armor, all that stuff.
Waiting for your friends.
Invite your friends over, and then you pick a mission. It could be different types of missions. It could be destroy a ship, protect a friendly ship, whatever. We have different mission types, and you have like a galaxy map. There's a lot of unlocks, and maybe we can talk about progression at another later point in time. But there's definitely a lot of design space there that we can talk about in the future. But I think we should just focus on the core gameplay for now. So what we're seeing right now is that we've started already a mission and skipped the hub part. So now we're in the ship. We've already picked the mission that we wanted to play.
We picked various components for our ship already.
Yes.
We can show some representations of those down at the power grid.
Yeah, right. So the ship is, of course, fully modeled with a full interior that we can freely walk around, interact with things, and and enjoy. Some things have big importance for gameplay. Some are just fun interacts like closing the windows. And our plan is to kind of make sure that the ship really feels alive and interesting. And even if not much is happening, we can still find fun things to troll each other, or go to the bar and have a drink, stuff like that, to make sure that the ship is all fully alive. And then, like we just touched on a couple of times, the ship is built, or like is powered by components. So you have engines, you have turrets, you have different types of weapons, defense modules, shields. It's quite a lot of stuff, and these things can be installed and uninstalled live. So sure, we started with this Mark One Pulse engine. I'm walking up to this. Here is the engine room, and here is the engine. And I can, at any point, or any player can just uninstall that. So what I'm holding now is basically a representation of the engine, and the game is like, please install the engines again. So then I can install them again. I can, if we're further down the line, have been playing for a little bit, I can swap the engine to a new engine that has maybe other capabilities than the one we have. Same thing with power and all these things. So I can just uninstall the reactor, and then the whole ship will just turn off, and you will have a big warning going like, oh, reactor uninstalled. Please don't do that again. And then, we have a lot of components, and every component also needs power. And the way we wanted to represent that, we wanted to represent it in an interesting way. So we created this power grid. So if you have an installed reactor, we can see here that we have some green squares on the left-hand side. I'm a bit confused about left and right, so you have to correct me. Left-hand side of the screen, yes. And then on the right-hand side, you have plugs, and every plug sort of represents a component that is currently installed. So right now, nothing is powered on. We have turrets here. We got like an engine, and then it's kind of like you have to put this engine, the plug for the engine, onto the green squares to power the engine. So it's a kind of a bit of almost like a mini game sometimes, because as the ship gets damaged, bad things happen. Some of these squares will actually turn red, and suddenly the engine turns off because we lost power, and then we have to I have to go down and rearrange the power. That kind of fantasy that's quite strong. We kind of have that in our own creative way here.
Yeah, and all these green squares you see, they are represented by the generator, and the generator you can upgrade in various ways, and you can also lose the generators. You have to prep the new one, find a new one.
Yeah, we also have auxiliary power units, so that's another component that will kind of add even more
extend
squares on this grid. But now we've sort of equipped the ship with sort of reasonably shaped, powerful components that kind of nicely fit here. But you can imagine finding a massive cannon, a really powerful component that just eats all the power, and then you go, okay, but great, I found this super powerful component, but how do I power the engines at the same time? And we want to create those dilemmas to the player. But yeah, that was the power grid. Just a quick sort of explanation of components, powering the ship. But then what? So we have a mission, right? And so we said the game is mission based. That means that when we jump off on a mission, we have an end goal. And right now we're representing the mission by a series of jumps. So you have you need to do sort of a journey to get to the end goal. And every jump is represented here on the jump map as sort of a place that we can travel to. And you can imagine at the end of this map, we have the final challenge, the final thing. And this is called munitions shipment in this case. And we start over here. And you can see that some jumps are maybe has a high threat level. Some are easier to complete. Some have different types of rewards. So the idea here is, or the goal for us is to make sure that whenever you're playing, you have interesting choices. Like, should we go here or here? So we can.
And you can also imagine that there will be more branches, or or more complex missions, or for easier missions, maybe just a straight line, fewer jumps, more jumps, etc. That's
exactly.
That's something we will be testing out and randomize as we progress.
So every jump is almost like a very large jump in space, and I think that's one thing that a lot of people have been talking about is, or asking about, is whether this game is open world. It is not. So every jump is kind of its own bubble. Uh, Within that bubble, you can move absolutely freely, which we'll show you a little bit, but you can't just seamlessly fly between planets or from space into atmosphere and land on a planet. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't have levels where you are close to the surface, um, but you can imagine having like an area of maybe 10 kilometers or so where you can move freely within. And then we make sure that all the gameplay is kind of inside that bubble. And we believe strongly that in sort of not AI generated stuff. So um,
There will be a lot of randomization
there will be
going on at each
randomization, but it's not
destination.
like the
It's
play
not
space will be
procedurally generated.
handcrafted
Yeah,
and kind of made with a design
intent.
intent. So like, okay, if you're just around the desert, it will not just be an empty desert.
Right.
There will be something interesting there for you to explore and visit. And every jump also has a challenge. So you make your first jump. You don't really know what you're gonna face. You have an idea maybe. Like what we're looking at here is a shipwreck. So it'll probably be a shipwreck, but there are many shipwrecks, right? Um, and then you have to solve a challenge to be able to jump to the next destination. And the type of challenges are very varied. It could everything from a huge asteroid shower that we just have to endure, fly from A to B and survive, to being attacked by enemies, or save a friend, or leave the ship entirely and just go on foot, entering a bunker, killing a lot of robots or stuff like that. Find the magic objective thing and sort of bring that back to the ship. So it's going to be highly varied, and every jump will kind of the goal for us is to make it feel very unique and very different. Some can be very challenging, and some are kind of nice and cozy. So challenge level will vary as well.
Yeah.
Right. I thought I was going to run around a little bit and show you kind of the seamlessness, which is something that a lot of people have been asking about. You can't freely move from the inside to the outside of the ship without any weird loading screens. Right now, I'm walking on a magnet surface, so I can just the character just aligns him or herself to the surface of the ship. But at any point, I can just detach and now fly completely freely.
And obviously, you can imagine that the ship would be moving if there was a
Yeah,
pilot,
if
right?
someone was flying, it'd be like, "Hey, bye."
Or you can fake it now with the debug menu.
No, I'm not
Yeah.
And then, of course, imagine the ship flying by. I can still enter my Superman mode or jetpack, and then you are quite mobile as an individual. So you're never gonna feel completely left out if somebody just leaves without thinking about you.
I think that's something like we want to emphasize a lot in our game and the design we're making, that we don't want it to feel stuck anytime, like
Yeah,
we're attached to some part of the game that you can't move freely from. And I think that's quite important in our game, and that's why like all the players can move independently from each other,
yeah,
regardless of where the ship is or where it's not, or where the host is and where they are not.
yeah. So obviously, the game you have to work as a team to be able to achieve your objectives.
Yeah.
If you're not playing alone. But within that, there's a lot of freedom. Like we want all of you to feel like you're the hero, right? So you are very empowered. You can do a lot of stuff, but you need each other to be able to succeed. But yeah, so speaking about working together, we have different things you can do. Like obviously, we can fly the ship, so I can just walk up and press interact. Anybody can do that. I know we have a lot of questions about roles. Can I be the
Classes,
classes?
yeah.
We don't have that. Instead, anybody can just walk up to the combat station, the pilot seat, walk up to that power grid we just showed, and do what's necessary. And it's quite dynamic. Like sometimes maybe the pilot has to leave the pilot seat to deal with a fire, and then somebody else can run in and take over. And we want that sort of sense of dynamism. I don't know if that's a word.
I don't know either.
But
It should feel dynamic.
yeah, exactly. And we want everything to be quick, snappy, and seamless. So like you just walk up to the pilot seat, you press F, you're back again. We got a sensor display. Sometimes that's really important. You have somebody guiding the pilot through the sensor display. He can see a lot of stuff and ping on the map like, hey, go over here, and then the pilot will be able to see that. But sometimes maybe when you're landed or something, this view is not interesting. So then like you can just leave and do whatever. And then of course we have the what we call the combat station. This is sort of assisting the pilot, where you have a 360 views and you can control turrets. And now the ship is not very equipped, but we have a lot of special weapons that you can install. And then in this view, you can actually control a lot of different abilities on the ship.
Yeah, and there's both like some offense abilities and defensive abilities.
Yeah, you can imagine shields and the sort of typical science fiction tropes comes into play. And yeah, we have a lot of items, weapons, fire extinguishers, different types of items that you will find and pick up and move around in the game as well. And yeah, you can actually construct items too, because sometimes you actually lose an engine mid-fight, and then you're like, uh-oh. Then you can actually construct some things. And these are unlockable. So like if you've played for a while, maybe you have more options here to build more advanced and powerful things. So now I can just quickly craft a new engine. Oh, here we go. And I can walk over and install it. So there is a little bit of an aspect to that as well. Is there anything?
And if you find stuff you don't like, what do you do with that?
Oh yeah,
you can throw it in the garbage bin.
Let's throw it in the garbage bin.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So you get back some material first.
Yeah. So we got the disassembler, put it down, and then it will be grinded into materia, which is the resource that you will use to either build items or repair broken stuff. That's an important resource that you will find throughout the game all the time. And then the loose condition is the core. So this is the core of the ship. Imagine HAL, kind of.
And you see the HP in the top left corner.
Yeah, and you can, and this is the core is what we need to keep alive. That sort of represents the health of the ship, basically. And the core will also be sort of your AI assistant, telling you what's going on and help you a little bit.
The announcer in the game.
The announcer. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, that was like a brief, quick overview of sort of the very core mechanics of the game. Once you finished this mission, you ended up at the last location, you finished up with that, you will end up with a windscreen, returning back to the hangar, going like, good job. You will get credits, experience, and new unlocks for your ship. And that's the game loop, basically. Right, are we ready to go through the list?
Yeah, let's see what the chat says if we change over.
Do we have where
to the right, top right? Here. Now we're still screaming the screen, but that's fine, I guess.
Right. Okay. So we will only answer one question. So think thoroughly now.
That's very unfair of you. You have like 99 unread messages. You're like, we'll take one.
Okay, but I'll take this one. The game looks mostly feature complete. What's the next milestone to get to early access?
Good question.
So I think from our part, it's mostly get it stable, I would say. I think you are correct. We are mostly feature complete, at least ready for getting feedback from you guys. Obviously, we're going to have a lot of places to visit and different types of challenges and all that stuff.
I didn't promise that, Philip.
I said a lot. I did my Molyneux for today. But I think for us, at this point, to kind of start the closed beta, it's mostly about stabilizing the game, making sure that, when we hand out some keys to you guys to play, you won't need any hand holding. You can just start playing, get the tutorial, invite your friends and be able to play for a couple of hours without any weird hiccups. So that's where we are at the moment.
That's the goal. We still have a lot of work to do, obviously, and a lot of features will be tweaked and changed throughout the beta as well. But we think we have the foundation of the game in place. And like Philip said, like there's still like a lot of quirks and jankiness in the game that we want to polish off before like committing to a bigger part of the
So this, like, I mean, we just showed you the player ship, but we have, you know, a very large amount of enemy ships. Some of which you can actually board and blow them up, and you can have, you know, enemy robots on board those ships fighting while the player ship is flying around. So it's like a lot of moving parts technically that really needs to work out, right? So it might look very stable now that we're in empty space, but you know, there's still a lot of quirks and a lot of complex interactions in the game systems that we still need to figure out. I mean, one example that I can bring up is we have a lot of crises.
Sorry, I was just texting with my colleague here. It's like, don't leak anything because you're streaming the whole screen.
Oh shit! Yeah,
no, it's
right.
fine. It's fine. I leave it.
Yeah, we're fine.
I said we're bulletproof. Like I removed all the.
You removed all the bullet. Okay.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. So one example of sort of systems going awry is that we have a lot of crises that can happen. So like when you're in space combat, you know, you have the pilot flying around and there are enemy ships, and once the player ship gets damaged, there can be fires, there can be like radiation happening, spreading, and that kind of stuff. So we had a game test when like a lot of logic just started freaking out, and suddenly there was just radiation everywhere, and the player just like, yeah, it was just a complete mayhem, and the players were like, "Oh my god, what's going on?" Everything was green, and everybody started dying and stuff. So there's a lot of those kind of like, oh, in this particular case, things will just go crazy. So we just need to make sure that all of that stuff is kind of somewhat stable, so that you guys can kind of play through a couple of times without any crazy hiccups. So that's where we are. Can you sit in the chairs? I think I briefly showed that in the stream, like 5 minutes ago.
Sure. Yeah, just hop into a chair.
So here's a jump seat. All right, I can sit down, enjoy the view.
Yeah.
So when you're preparing for a jump, you need to sit in a jump seat. We also have seats in the cantina and
your favorite feature.
The toilet. Yeah, buddy. With this awkwardly small privacy screen. Can you flush? A good question. Well, I can flush. Let's see. Find something funny to flush. No, did I misclick? Ah. So here's my shotgun. Flush. Oh no! I flushed my. No! Where did my gun go? Okay, whatever. You didn't see that.
Some more privacy.
Yeah.
And I saw there were some questions about like what happens when you die. What happens with the ship? What happens with the players?
Yes. So
what?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. The if you die, your players can bring you back to life. But if
you get down.
Yes, you get down. It's like in
so
most.
There's a moment for the other players to revive you.
Yeah. If all of the players get down at the same time, that is a lose condition.
Yeah.
So you cannot just solo the whole thing. But if a ship dies, you actually lost the mission, and you get back to
the hangar.
There are some contextual lose conditions depending on what mission you're playing.
Yeah.
Let's say you're supposed to save or protect a ship, and that ship blows up because you didn't do your job. That would be a fair condition. Yeah. But the game will be very clear on that.
Yeah. And we haven't that's something we're gonna test and try out. Like, what kind of stuff do you lose when the ship explodes, or what kind of stuff do you lose when you fail the mission? Like, that's something like we're gonna try out during the beta as well. Like, we were not sure exactly if you're gonna lose components or credits you save up or materials. Well, we'll figure out eventually.
What beer are we drinking? It's Piston Head Flat Tire Lager. I think this is a Swedish brand. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. One of the cheapest, but it's pretty tasty.
Yeah.
One of the best and cheapest.
Oh, is this your first game? So it's the studio's first game, but we are 5 founders of the studio.
In total, we're 14 people working full time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So us founders, we actually met back in university 2006, 2007, and
At university.
at university, yes. And then we all kind of spread out. So we've been working in the games industry now since I don't know, 14 years. Worked on a lot of different games. You've been working on at Mojang on
Yeah,
Minecraft.
I worked on Minecraft for a very long time. Then I was part of founding Copy Stain Publishing, and then I ended up here.
Yeah, and I've been working at Starbreeze, um,
Dice.
Dice, and then I worked at Hazelight. So I did A Way Out and It Takes Two as well.
And Brothers.
And Brothers.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Bunch of whatever. So yeah, we've been
We
working for quite
also
some time.
did a very famous mod.
Yeah, Decadence. Google that one. Is it still on ModDB?
I think
Decadence
it is.
mod for Half-Life 2. I wonder how many people are playing that one.
Yeah.
Like 0 points.
Maybe half a person.
Good question. How does the progression work with the host and other joining players? The joining players have the ability to bring their favorite loadout to the host of the game, or so the host is the one
Owning the ship. Yeah.
that owns the ship, but the rewards are shared. So when we win a mission, we all get the same amount of rewards. But the host is what kind of decides what to go with. I think that's it.
You see an old Minecraft joke in there as well. Was Herobrine removed yet? I think we've removed Herobrine, or he was removed for at least 7 years while I was at Mojang with each patch.
So can the windows be broken? No, we don't. We don't simulate anything like that. I'm just thinking, like, is that fun though? Like you break the window just by one bullet and like you just die.
Yeah. I mean, the flushing part is one of those kind of like space tropes or airplane tropes.
Yeah, yeah,
Where you
exactly.
open a door while flying and then like everything bottom.
Yeah. Upgrade weapons. So
We have the toilet. You can flush stuff in the toilet.
Yeah. Upgrade weapons. Yes. So we have all the components of the ship, whether that's engines or all these things, weapons. They have different marks. The same with the handheld weapons. They also have marks. So we have different levels of coolness with cool optics and stuff like that. Can you disable not? Can you disable artificial gravity on the ship? So technically, yes, but it's not. So we might do that in, like, we have a lot of spaces where it's like zero gravity, and then you kind of float into something, and then suddenly there is gravity and you fall down.
Yeah.
So technically, we have all these things figured out, but zero G.
There is no like disabled gravity button on the ship.
No, because zero G movement inside such a cramped space is not that fun, and that's why we're doing it. But technically, like, we could do it tomorrow if we wanted to. But yeah, maybe as a troll feature at some point we release that, but it's not
the DLC. You'll have to pay $20 for it.
Yeah.
Just
$1 million. Would the physics beat Halo 3 physics? So I think our mission right now is to remove physics from the game.
I mean, you understand what I mean, like the movement and fluence.
Like character movement. 100%. 100%. I love the movement in our game.
And the how we move through space.
Yeah, I think we did a really good job of the feel. Like, it started off with, I just wanted everything to be like Half-Life. That's always like, when in doubt, just make it like Half-Life. But then we kind of worked from there. So when I say Half-Life, I'm talking about like more like how games and the feel of movement and everything from the old sort of Quake era, I guess.
Yeah. Very snappy, like we're very input driven rather than animation.
Extremely responsive.
Yeah.
But with that said, I think if you would compare like, if I play Half-Life today, I'm like, it's kind of jank compared to what we've done. So I think we found a really good way of keeping that responsiveness, but also getting a lot of like nice camera feedback, and when you land, it's not like the camera just goes. It actually has a little bit of bounce, and we have camera animations when you're reloading and all that stuff. So I think we managed to find a really nice sweet spot between how good and responsive controls, but also sort of, I guess, a modern touch. I don't know what. Maybe I sound like too much of a developer when I say that.
It
But yeah.
feels like how you imagine it was.
Yeah.
If you're a bit older.
Yeah. Is there bunny hopping? Not. Yeah.
No.
There's
It-
exploits. There are movement exploits.
Sure, but I mean, it's not
Yeah.
like it's necessary.
That's actually one thing. We have double jumps,
Yeah.
which is maybe like if you're an old schooler, that's kind of a new thing. But
Yeah.
would the potential betas be PC only? Yes. Um, like I feel like we can just answer the questions and then go through the feature lists. Or
Sure, up to you. Like we have plenty of questions in the chat,
yeah.
and we have quite a long list to talk about. Like, I don't think we will go through the whole list today because it was like 400 something entries on the
Yeah.
list, and
Yeah, but like somewhat kind of funny though.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we can do. Yeah, let's do both. Like one from the list, one from the chat.
Yeah. Let's pick space slaves.
Yeah.
Is it here?
I hope you can still see the screen.
This is the only question that I find relevant in the whole list. No, I'm just kidding. Space slaves.
What? All right. So this list, where does this list come from? Just go through that first.
Oh yeah, we have a member. Is it on the top? It says who made it.
Made it.
I am so sorry. I don't know the author.
Credit is where credit is due.
Who just spent a lot of time going through all the different requests and
Yeah,
questions
from the Discord, like the
Yeah.
jump ship suggestions discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have space slaves. And yeah, let's leave it at that. But I kind of should I oh yeah, I have a story about space slaves. Have anybody ever played Elite's First Encounters?
I have not.
All right. So it's an old game from the 90s. You have a spaceship. And it's like this old space trading game with like a lot of menus. And then you could, in certain areas of the galaxy, you could
Yeah.
buy slaves and then trade them. And I thought, that's great. I want to make some money. I'm going to buy slaves here and sell them there. What I didn't realize was as soon as you left the atmosphere, they would all turn into fertilizer because I did not have life support installed on the ship.
That's so.
It's so dark.
So morbid. Yeah. What's fertilizer? All right.
Yeah.
From dust to dust. Whatever
Yeah.
it said.
All right, but should we go from the top down or
Sure. How many interests do we have? Like, first, just go down and see where we're at. I think we have material for some more streams.
1 million stream?
And
Oh wow,
each row
Jesus
is not just one entry.
445. Yeah.
All right. Well,
So
let's
let's
start with
do,
entry number
200.
one. Maybe we should make like a randomizer or something,
Yeah.
so it doesn't feel unfair or whatever. Yeah. Maybe next time we'll choose.
Okay, so the first one is speak emote. So like we would take quotes from other games or movies, right? No. We might do some hints of other games and media, but maybe a bit more elegant than.
What?
Did somebody delete that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Live edit. This is live.
yeah. So hear me out. Since it's going to be a team-based PvP shooter, why not dedicated medic tool?
Right. So there's also another column on the right that says, go back to the spreadsheet.
Right. Possible.
So status, if implemented or not.
Yeah.
Or
So okay.
speculation.
I see.
What's
So
the current status of this?
the current status is that we have inventory. So the players don't only have a weapon and their pistol. They can actually hold other types of items, and they're usually team play oriented. So you can place like a healing drone on the floor that will heal all your friends within an area. And we have a bunch of other items like that that you can use to heal yourself. So we don't literally have a med gun, but we have something akin to that. Character customization, yes.
And
I
it's
just mentioned.
implemented. Yeah.
I hope we can get a rule that recharges power for the captain, like so.
Cloaking.
Recharges power for the captain, like cloaking or yeah. So I mentioned the combat station. You have like a little bit of abilities that could be offensive and defensive. We don't have cloaking in the game today, but I wouldn't rule that out as an impossibility.
No, we have like the enemy ships. They have what is it called?
Sensing. Yeah, they have sensing, so they won't immediately attack you, right?
They have to see you, or if you attack them, they will attack you.
Yeah.
So there is like some kind of element of stealth.
There is some kind of element of stealth, and that's something that we've definitely discussed.
Yeah.
How we can take that to the next level, or yeah, maybe there are components that kind of makes that.
Yeah, and the cloaking could also be like, I'm not saying it's in, but imagining that it could be a way to escape from a combat situation. Like,
yeah,
it could
yeah,
be like emergency escape.
Yeah, we've had very serious talks about that type of
Yeah.
stuff. So whether it's in on exactly the first build in early access, maybe not, but it's like it's more of a design challenge than it is a technical one, because technically we have everything there, to be honest. Speaking of robots, it would be cool if you could play as a robot.
Who is behind the helmet? We don't know.
We don't know that. Yeah. I love the idea, actually, of now we don't have this, but I love the idea of being able to play as a robot, let's say, and then like, oh, you have 200 in health, but you can't get back, or like you have very weird mechanical constraints, like you're super good at one thing and super bad at another thing. It will not happen, but I love the idea. It's possible, maybe.
No.
Add alien skins. No, we don't have aliens in the game at all whatsoever. We have machines. They are the threat. Fist bump or hug emotes like Helldivers. So emotes, yeah. I think eventually. Can't promise for the first build or like the first release, but we want emotes for sure.
A backflip emote that actually lets you jump off the ship.
That
done it. You can already do that. You
awkwardly specific.
Yeah.
What if you do that backflip when you're inside?
Yeah, I have no idea. But you can jump off the ship and just rotate if you want to. Imaginary backflip. Yeah.
Customizable decals, so me and the crew can show our emblems, or like decals on your armor, I guess then.
Or the ship.
Or the ship. I think that would be super cool. Yeah, I think that would be super cool. That is not
that would be cool.
but no. It's definitely confirmed. Yeah. But it's definitely something we will discuss in the future. Different voice behavior chips. Imagine having a robot that sounds like a butler. I guess it's the players' voices,
or maybe the course voice. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Player voices, like the player character voice, I think so, definitely. That should sound different. But AI, they don't talk. They just make like me or eh. They have like these robot sounds.
You can imagine other enemy ships maybe talking with you through the radios or something like that, but we're not sure about the language yet. What they will say and what they won't say.
Yeah. Persistent world. This is a very good point. Because like I mentioned in the game, like you pick a mission from sort of a galaxy map. So you have regions, imagine this round table, and you have like this kind of strategic kind of like, oh, you're here. And you can unlock regions that you can do missions in that are harder than the first region you've started. That is persistent, but the missions themselves, they are generated. So our goal is that you would never play the same thing twice. Your ship is also partially persistent, I would say. So like you unlock components, and those unlocks will stay there if you unlock them. With that said, if the ship gets super damaged at the end, that does not mean it will be super damaged when you come back to the hangar. We kind of fix it up for you. And if you find you can find enhanced components and like really powerful items. That is only there during that mission and will not stay once you're back. For balancing reasons. Technically, we could absolutely do that, but I don't think it would just be like so complicated um, to have that make sense, like players understand or like
Right.
stuff like that. And then like you just fill the ships with all the super enhanced components, and then you don't care about the unlocks and stuff. So yeah. You could run the game in DS
I
mode.
have no idea what that means.
That once everyone quits, it resets the world. I don't think I
I have
understand.
no idea.
No. Just a good multiplayer mode, a giant map generator for space, loads of effects and artwork, nebulous. Oh, I love this one. Like make game cool. I like how Freelancer was able to use certain systems in space. China, yeah. So Freelancer is like one of the hidden
See,
gems.
one thing though, like you see the question, the timestamps on the right.
Yeah.
These are suggestions from 2020. So they could be based on like the super old demo.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Like my old thing. Yeah. With that said, though, we could talk a little bit about the regions. Anyway, like the idea is, you unlock regions, and we would like to make them feel and look quite different from one another and stuff like that. So, literally having what they managed to achieve in Freelancer, no. But depending on which region you're picking a mission, the backdrop and sort of the feel and the atmosphere, maybe to some extent the gameplay will definitely be different.
Right.
But yeah, we have a good multiplayer mode. I'm confident about that. And we don't have a giant map generator. Oh, whatever. I'm not gonna continue. Partial, yeah. I realize this would require a hefty amount of work with light maps, but I think it would be okay. What is the? This is probably not an entry.
This is not like applicable when it comes.
Yeah, hazard zones that affect the ship's weapons, hull, engines, and navigation. We have that.
Yeah. We have different kind of stuff of hazard.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, for example, you can enter a space in where there's like a constant meteor shower, and then you have to take cover of larger asteroids to kind of not be hit by them. You have to use the weapons on the ship to shoot one down the big rocks coming at you. We also have large radiation volumes where if you fly into that, you will start having radiation coming up inside the ship, and that will affect the ship. It will screw up your engineering board, and spawn create like these radioactive pieces of stuff spawns inside the ship, and you have to deal with that to kind of go through. So I would say yes.
We have different kinds of hazard zones. Yeah.
Are they going to be planets to land on and FPS zones and space stations? So yes, but you cannot seamlessly go from space to a planet. You will make a jump and then boom, you are by the planet and you can land.
Yeah, like on this close to the surface.
Close to the surface, and you can land and sort of do an FPS mission seamlessly.
So just to be clear, it's not like No Man's Sky where you take off from the surface of a planet to another planet. Like you do this hyper jump to the specific surface of the planet.
Yeah, but once you're close to the surface, you can jump off the ship and run into a space station or like a bunker or something.
Yeah.
We absolutely have space stations where you can dock with your ship and enter as well. Yeah. Electronic warfare station. So I'd say, yeah, kind of. So we showed the combat station, which could have components that would sort of equate what you're suggesting here. I think pig people, space pirates would be a great addition.
Yeah, this is the dude who suggested this, Mick Lee. He is from the Minecraft community.
Okay.
Let's take the last one here, number 20, and then jump to the chat.
Yep.
What's going on there?
Right. So we don't have pig people.
No.
I'm not sure if it was suggested yet or if it's already implemented, but a faction reputation system. So depending on the type of mission you will fulfill, you will earn progress towards that faction. We do not have factions in the game. You play as the adherents, which is
It's a faction,
a faction.
and you are
Um,
that faction.
Yes. I am not ruling out that if the game goes super well, meaning all of you watching have to buy the game,
At
plus
least 10 times each.
that's not enough, maybe a few thousand times. But like if the game goes really well, it's possible that we would revisit having several factions and sort of,
Yeah.
you know, that would affect the regions and all that stuff. But
Mhm.
it's not impossible, but it's kind of feels a bit far away. Right. Let's go back to chat.
Yeah.
How do you stop
Uh,
players from flying off in one direction when they are on a planet? Just flying off. So you are bound to being within sort of a play space. You cannot fly forever in one direction. Uh, it's up to the players to kind of if they want to fly off and do their own thing and not play with the group. That is up to them. At the end of the day, we have points in the game where you kind of need to be four players at a specific point to be able to progress.
Mm.
Uh, but yeah, you as a player, you know, I expect you as a player to kind of like start a mission and sort of agree on like, okay, let's try to finish this thing. I hope so. So like the game will not punish you from going completely off path
No.
yourself while the rest of the crew is going in a direction, but it might hurt
Yeah, but
you in the long run.
it's important also to address that you all play. You know, if you saw the map, if we can change, let's see here. If you look at the jump table, so talking about that the players can't be at different locations at the same time. You all have to go and be at the same.
Yeah, exactly.
So
So
you
yeah.
see the ship at the far left here. All four players have to be. They're all at the same spot at the same time, but you can move freely in the destination you're currently at. Like we could do a jump to the next destination.
Yeah,
Just
let's
to
go.
show you, yeah. And just to explain that you can't just move independently to another level or destination yourself. You always
Yeah.
have to
So
go
now we're
together.
charging up the jump drives, and here we go.
Hopefully
Smack.
nothing breaks.
Yeah. Pray to
Yeah.
the machine.
Yeah.
So now we're in space jumping,
Yeah.
and now we're arriving at a new destination,
Yeah. This is one.
and now we're at the shipwreck, right?
Yes. Yes.
So if someone decided to leave the ship after or before the jump happened, there
They
will be a
will.
penalty for not
Yes.
sitting down, strap in,
Exactly. And if you
but you
go,
will teleport here.
yeah. So now we moved. Whoops. So now we moved on the map, and everyone has to move together throughout the map. You can't just leave anyone behind. They will get punished by losing HP or losing some resources of some kind. And that's very important. Like you can't finish off the game by yourself while three or two other people are doing something else. Like
Yes.
you all go together throughout
Yes.
this galaxy map together.
You are maybe it's more easy to kind of review here. Here we can see there's a shipwreck.
Yeah.
This is kind of the play space. I can't. Yeah, it's just empty here.
Yeah.
So we kind of have a region that is X amount of kilometers
Yeah.
large, and that is the play space where you can move freely. But yeah, if a jump happens, we kind of like put everybody together again.
Yeah. You're still like a team. Like you're not independently playing the game. You play the game as a team.
Yeah. All right. Will we be able to deploy a smaller ground vehicle like a rover? So I've been, I've had a lot of subtle requests within the team to support that.
The only requests are from you.
No, Rasmus, he really wants me to make it. Not gonna happen.
Subtle requests.
Like, I really would love to make some cool vehicle physics and do it right and prove that it can be done in a cool way. That was your idea. No, it was not my idea.
Yes, it was.
Like I'm looking for a reason to putting ground vehicles,
Yeah,
but then
yeah.
like I don't want to just want to add ground vehicles. They have to have a purpose that
Sure.
makes sense within whatever destination you're at and stuff like that. I haven't found that gameplay hook yet. And it has to be a very strong hook because that's a lot of work to get a ground vehicle in there. But yeah, that would be awesome. Estimate to the system requirements.
We don't
Big
know yet,
early.
really. Like, obviously, we want the game to work good on Steam Deck.
Yeah, Steam. I would say Steam Deck is probably.
But the question is then, like, do we target 30 FPS or 60 FPS?
I would say 30.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
I'm sorry, but it's
Yeah.
just that's what it's gonna be.
why?
Yeah.
No, I mean,
I could
obviously,
go on with technical
yeah,
explanations,
we
but
want to make the game as optimized as possible, but it does takes a lot of time to do that, and we have to decide when we stop
Yeah.
doing those kind of optimizations.
so someone says the team is all using 3060s. That is correct,
Mm.
and I think you will if you have something around that mark, the game will run really well. More questions. Let's go. You're typing so slowly. Come on.
There's
Nah,
a
no. I'm
long
not gonna
list, but
scroll.
you're
I don't
just gonna
care.
take the list.
What part of the gameplay loop are you most excited for us players to see? Don't say the whole game. I'm really excited about what makes a jump ship unique, which is the situations where we have the ship and we have the players, and they have to like sometimes split up. There are situations where like, oh, the ship is in space combat, but we need to have a few players use their jetpacks, land on a freaking platform, shoot off enemies to, be able to protect something.
Right.
And that dynamic is like fucking over the top crazy. And then you have the spaceship flying in, shooting to assist the players on this platform and all that stuff. So I
And at
think
the same time, getting attacked by other enemy
yeah, while there is
ships,
like fires on board the ship,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
at the sort of peak crazy of this game. I think there's so much going on at the same time, and that's something that sort of I almost like sometimes I'm in disbelief when I look at it. I'm like, dude, how does this run? Like, how does this all work? But it does, and there's no cheating. Like, it's an actual ship flying individually, and it all kind of together. Can the game still be played with 2 or 3 people? Absolutely. So the difficulty scales seamlessly between 1 and up to 4 players. So if you play 4 players, the amount of challenges you'll be facing, on the ship and fighting on foot and fighting ships will be different compared to when you play alone or play with 2 players or 3 players. And if you are 4 players starting a mission and then 2 players leave mid-session, it will dynamically just adapt. You won't even notice that it's happening, but it's there all the time in the background. So that's going to work. Our goal is also to allow, someone joining an already ongoing session.
Mid-session, yeah.
But then we would do it so you can join while the ship is jumping in between 2 places, and then again the difficulty will automatically adjust. So like if you're 2 players and a third one is joining for the next jump, the difficulty will be dynamically adjusted at that point.
I mean, it's all about we're always keen on trying to make the balancing as fun as possible for the amount of players available at any time.
Do the rewards adjust according to play numbers? I think the rewards will be the same for everybody. So like you don't get less if you play 4 versus 1 player. Let's say you get 500 credits for finishing a mission, you would get 500 no matter if you're 4 or 1. Each individual player gets the same amount.
Split screen. There is no split screen in the game, and no plans for split screen.
No,
there will
not gonna happen.
No, it's major.
What system will you use for cheating prevention? Good question. So we will not have any system for cheating prevention. That is because this is a co-op game.
Yeah.
If you want to cheat with your friends, break the game, by all means. I'm not going to stop you.
Yes.
If someone is super creative, coming up with all this crazy stuff to kind of pick the game apart and sort of change the game modes or whatever,
Yeah.
I mean, I challenge you. Please do it. And then
I mean, it's also up to the players playing the game if they allow cheaters or not. Like it's up to you.
Yeah.
Like then you will just kick
If
them out.
you want
If
to,
your
like,
friends are cheating,
yeah,
just if you don't like it, you just kick them out, I guess, from the session, or you just let them cheat.
yeah.
We,
So
I mean, it's not a competitive game. There is like no real reason for us to try to stop cheating.
yeah, I mean, we do expect that people will create these
Yeah.
tools to kind of unlock everything immediately, and it's like, yeah, well,
Yeah.
I'll welcome. It's like, if
Whatever.
that makes you happy,
I do whatever you want.
will there be achievements to get? Yes, because that's almost like you know, games today have achievements.
Yes.
We have to have achievements to
Yeah.
be able to release it. Different ship types. Yes, we have a bunch of different ships that have different sizes, adapted for maybe fewer players, larger ships for many players. That will definitely be something in early access immediately. So you can buy them and sort of, yeah.
Do you think this
Average
appeals?
run length. That's a good question. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's a good point. The default, or like the average mission length, is slightly under the hour. I think that's where we kind of landed right now. With that said, when you pick a mission on the map, you can either pick a short mission with fewer jumps or kind of a marathon, where it's like much more jumps than we just showed you on the stream. And we'll give you sort of a time estimate. So like when you kind of pick a mission, it will kind of give you like, it's around an hour. Oh, this is 30 minutes, and this one is maybe 2 or 3 hours or whatever. Are there any special achievements that you're proud of? We haven't designed them yet, but they're going to be awesome. Awesome achievements.
Yeah.
How are you handling the PlayStations? If the host is disconnected, what happens? If the host, so yeah, good question there. So it's a, do you say peer-to-peer? It's not
Technically, it's not peer-to-peer, but
peer-to-peer.
it's easier to talk about it as peer-to-peer.
Yeah. So the point is like if you host and you invite your friends to play with your ship in your hub, you are the host, meaning your computer is the server.
Yeah. If I invite you to my home and I want you to leave, I would just kick you out and disconnect.
And if your computer breaks down mid-session, everybody gets kicked out and you get a sad smiley face.
Yeah. So it's up to the host to decide when the game session ends.
Yeah.
Or the game crashes.
How big is your team? So we've mentioned that. We can say it again. We are 14.
14. 1-4.
So we're a quite small studio. We're all like almost like not even a big family. It's just a family.
I mean, it depends on what you compare to. Like some indie teams, they're like one army, one man army, and we're
Space Pets. No, but I really like cats. So I think I need to, I have 2 cats, and I'm gonna make sure they end up in the game somehow. But I'm not gonna tell anybody how. They will just secretly show up one day. Is there any plan to self-host it separately from the host section on
I guess dedicated servers.
No.
No plan for that right now. No.
Stenbeck. Fan, är det Per, eller? Nice to see you. Are you guys you must be like you're having a Halloween party. Why are you like here?
Obviously the Halloween party sucks.
So greetings to Hazelight. I actually didn't see you, but I was at Hazelight today and I saw what's his name again? The Go Gubbe.
Awkward now.
Yeah, you know.
Förbjörnen.
Nej, Victor, yes.
Victor. Judas.
Oh yeah, you know Victor.
I know Victor. I work with Victor.
Yeah. Go Bear. All right, should we see if we have any more?
I think we had some more questions.
Just a few more ones. We've been going on for an hour. So.
We also have the spreadsheet. We can go through some more there.
Yeah, I mean, this was fun. Like we can keep doing it if you guys want to add another point. I missed this, sorry, but will the ship be only place serving as main base for players during in between loops? Ah, so will there be any build change upgrade to? Yeah, so I can bring that up again.
Repeat the question because I'm not sure what the
Yeah.
question is.
Will the ship be the only sort of persistent place?
Right.
Will the ship be your hub? I guess is
Mhm.
the question. No, you have your hub is a hangar that we will show at a later date, but it's basically a
Oops.
Jesus Christ,
I'll
the whole
turn
office
off
is
the
turning
lights.
off. I think the office
Getting
wants us to
late
go
here.
home.
Yeah,
Um,
working overtime here.
The hub is a hangar, and you pick ship for a mission inside the hangar, right? And that's also where you pick your gear and your equipment for the ship.
Point. We got light.
Did you just do that with your phone?
Yeah.
That's cool. How do I hoppa till senaste?
Send it.
Okay. The file size will be less than
Yes,
Call of Duty.
I can guarantee you that.
Yeah. What is it currently? Like 14, 20?
I think so, but yeah, 16 maybe. Yeah. Ideally smaller, but we'll see.
Henrik keeps spamming about the director. Okay, so I guess I should talk about the director a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
What's the director?
what is the director? So,
Oh yeah, you can show the whole curve system.
yeah, I can show you the mad. Well, does it work? So,
it work? No.
yeah, I'm gonna show you some dev menu stuff.
Okay.
So right now we're in a destination, right? But we'll have a lot of these levels, like a lot. But there is some randomization and all that stuff. But even then, after you play for 100,000 hours, you might feel like, oh god, I've seen this level 100 times. Bring me something cool and new.
Mhm.
To solve that and put the players a little bit on the edge, we also have the directive, which is a game mechanic or a system that behind sort of the curtain kind of evaluates how you guys are doing, what's going on, and then sort of initiates some kind of global event happening. Um, the name director comes directly from Left 4 Dead, and we have the director in the background here, and we could even like it can do a lot of crazy stuff. If it thinks that you're too defensive, too slow, stuff like that. And let's see if I can spawn something interesting here. What should we go with? Meteorites. So now we're just gonna force it to activate an event just to show like what type of things that could happen.
Oops.
Let's see if it works.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, here we go. Incoming meteorites.
Yeah.
Oh dear. So now we have to like survive this stuff, and oh my god, the ship's. Can I handle it? So this is type of stuff that dynamically can happen, and now the ship is taking damage, and you can see like, oh my god, red lights, the ship is taking damage up in the corner, and if I go outside, I think I'm in God mode, maybe.
Yeah, it looks like it because otherwise you would be being cooked now.
Yeah. So there are stuff like this that could happen dynamically at given points in the game. There could be like ambushes. There could be enemy robots spawn inside your ship and kind of like cause also kind of has wreak all this kind of havoc.
Ah,
Oh, thruster malfunction. Oh my god. Yeah, things are actually breaking down.
now they seem to break for some reason. Took some time.
Yeah. It depends on how many players are playing, right? It's like dynamic.
Yeah.
Oh god. Where's the fire? I can see it up there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on the outside. Let's see.
So the director, like you said, can dynamically spawn different kind of threats depending on how well or badly you play.
Yeah.
And
And
it will also like mitigate.
yeah. And
What
sometimes
kind of threats?
yeah, and sometimes you can get this like perfect storm where like several things are happening at the same time, and then you guys are like, oh my god, it's crazy. Yeah. So I hope I pleased you, Mr. Secret Developer, who wanted me to talk about that. Do you think the management complexity will appeal to a player base more akin to Sea of Thieves or Faster Than Light for comparison? If you don't mind me asking, just wondering what friends I should suggest this to.
Yeah, this was the question I want to talk about. And this is about, in a sense, like how arcade are we versus how much simulation are we? Simulation-y. Like How much Sea of Thieves are we versus how much Star Citizen are we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say somewhere in between. I think
Yeah.
Star Citizen, like this is a game. The goal is that you should just play with your friends, um, without knowing anything, and the game will kind of help you out along the way.
Yeah.
So like, it's definitely easy. It should be easy for someone who's comfortable playing a first-person shooter.
Yeah.
Like if you know the like
The
moving the
convention,
camera,
like we won't have very standard conventions. Like we
Yeah.
don't want to like, oh, look at our super advanced control scheme. Like, no, we don't want that. We just want to
Yeah.
like WSD space
Yeah.
mouse.
and like flying the ship, super easy.
Yeah.
So it's more like, okay, what do we do rather than how we do it? I think is our goal. So I think Sea of Thieves is too simple though.
Yeah.
We have more complex.
Although I think they have like super cool fantasy, like pirates. Everyone knows what pirates
It's
are doing.
an amazing game for
Yeah.
many reasons, but I would say our game is a little bit more complex than
Yes.
theirs is. But I think we put a lot of effort into making it easy to just pick up and play.
Yes.
With that said, so if you like Sea of Thieves, I think this should be definitely fine to play as well.
Yeah. Obviously, you have to like sci-fi in a sense.
Yeah,
but it's
sure.
not like hard sci-fi. It's not like, oh, I have to manage my oxygen, I have to manage my fuel, and I have to manage my whatever you usually do, like in these kind of like space sim games.
Yeah.
We don't have that.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. All these annoying things that might kill you, but you don't know, it doesn't exist. Only things that look dangerous will kill you. Idea surprise. Are we ready to talk about that?
99.99, easy. Yeah. No, obviously.
99.99. What?
Just
Dollars
like
or dollars?
GTA, just like GTA 6. Yeah, easy. Yeah. We're not sure. We'll see.
Yeah, but I honestly think whatever you guys think is worth is we're pretty close to that. I haven't heard anybody assume less or more than what the game is gonna be. I think we and you guys are probably pretty aligned with that. Like whatever games that kind of has a similar production quality as ours. Like we look, of course, a lot of similar games to kind of price our games.
Yeah,
similarly.
like I mean, I worked a little bit. I won't take any credit for this. I worked a bit on Deep Rock Galactic, and
Yeah,
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Ghost Ship and what they achieved with Deep Rock. And obviously, we want to be in the same kind of space when it comes to like um the scope of the game, the polish of the game, and price as well. Like that's how we're looking at ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you talked about tentacles, space monsters, horrors. We don't have any. You don't like scary games.
I hate scary games because I hate being scared.
Yeah. We don't have any horror. Any type of gore is not really a thing in our game. We
It
have
depends if you're
corpses.
on the AI side of things of history or not. Like we're only killing machines. In this
Yeah,
game.
you blow up machines, but there's no blood or gore.
No. Oil.
And the things that you're phasing and killing are machines. We don't have any aliens.
No. Hopefully one day we will have more like organic.
Yeah,
matter.
I mean, I'm open to that, but
It's difficult. Like
we are 14 people in a basement.
yeah, actually we're in.
Like throughout the window here, that's like half the studio. Will it be the alien? Give me the control. What is something as a developer you want to see added to the game? What I would like to see. We touched on
Vehicles. We already
vehicles. See that. One thing that I would like to add is very large ships. We have large ships you can board, but I'm talking about like this,
like its own universe.
Comes in there and it's like covering your whole screen.
Right.
There's no technical thing for stopping us, but at early access, we will not have this large, like giant boss. We have, that's not true, but dynamically spawning, I would say, because we have like this end mission where you're killing these very large ships, but then we have support for AI that are large ships flying around and stuff like that. Death Star, that would be cool.
I mean, they would be like their own destination in a sense.
Yeah. Potential is for customization. What types of customization? Oh yeah. So customization in the game, players, the ship. What can you customize? I think customization will be a very long story where we start with customizing the player. Like you can pick your armor, that's guaranteed. You can pick a helmet, you can pick the
Like your
colors
suit, yeah.
for your suit, maybe even wear and tear. You can customize your ship to some degree, right? You can color it, maybe look at the interior and change the color of certain rooms and stuff. But our ambition is, of course, that you're gonna customize much more on the ship than that post the first early access version.
Yeah.
Because we really want you to be able to make your ship your home. How to like it's sort of a balance between design and sort of like how do we make sure that like the goal is to make it so you can customize your ship and make it home. But how do we do that in sort of a fun way? Could it be that you find a nice painting or a statue or a skull or something in a mission that you can bring back and put on the ship? There's nothing technically stopping us from doing that, but we want to do it in the right way that makes sense and sort of feels rewarding, and that there's enough stuff that you can decorate your ship with. So it won't be there at early access, but it's definitely an ongoing conversation um, within the studio on how to make that fantasy work.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm thinking the content packs would be free and the cosmetic packs would cost some money.
Yeah, that's our philosophy as well. And obviously, we want to develop this game for a very long time, together with the community, and whatever. There's some like, I think it's this feedback loop that I think is very interesting for this game and game development in general. Like, we have an idea that we want you to like, and if you don't like it, we want to massage it and change it and tweak it to make sure we're both on the same page about things. And this feedback loop and this dialogue with the community and players, I believe, is very important when making games. And that's something we're going to do for a very long time.
Yeah. No battle pass.
No,
We don't have any plans to kind of deal with that. Seasons, we haven't talked about that either. We'll see where we get there, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it would be cool with having like global missions that everyone is fighting or working towards, like kind of like a high level meta game, but not really like seasons in that regard. I guess it's just a headache.
So the beta test ETA, of course, you all guys
next year, yeah.
next year. So I mean, we're working towards a closed beta, and it will start super small.
Yeah.
And I think the very first of those super small tests is not that far away. I think very soon, but that will be like just a few groups of people, right? And then our goal is throughout next year to open that up more and more and more, because we think we are pretty sure there's going to be a lot of people playing this game, and we need to make sure that we can, make sure the game works on day one. So we're going to have to let a lot of people in and play during controlled beta tests. But exactly at when and you guys obviously you guys want to know what to do to be invited. I can't say other than please subscribe to the newsletter.
Yeah.
And like we are gonna pick people from
be lurking in the Discord.
And Discord, yeah. That's you guys are like the first guys that we will talk to. But exactly how and whatever. That's not really decided yet.
I saw people talking about the Helldivers game master thing. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm thinking about too.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not implemented today at all. It's just more like lofty goals or things that would be cool to try out and see, like, can we as a gaming community battle against the game together?
Yeah.
I think that's kind of,
that would be awesome. Yeah.
I was thinking more like the Splatoon dudes, how they did it, but yeah, I guess no one here played Splatoon.
So I think we've been talking for a while now.
Let's go through some of the list again. Like,
Damn it, I need to go to the bathroom, bro.
no, keep your hands on. Keep your
Hopefully.
pants on for at least 10 more minutes.
10 more minutes. I can't handle it.
We had done till row 20. We can skip the confirmed ones. Let's say it takes some. I'm not even sure the confirmed.
Okay, you know what?
No, that's
Henrik, are you there?
You want to change?
Yeah, Henrik, can you come
technical
in?
change?
I need a. So here is. Who are you?
You summoned me.
Yeah, sit down.
Hello, I'm Philip 4. And what are you guys
This
doing?
is live TV, man. Anything can happen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hello,
Yeah.
I'm Henrik.
What do you do?
What do? I do
You might- yeah.
level design in general.
Mhm.
I don't think I have an official role, to be honest. I don't know of it.
Usually it comes here and work.
Yeah, I do work. Proper, like old school work. Right, you're going through the list, right?
Yeah, some stuff we take off the list and some stuff we take from the chat.
A lot
Now
of
we're at
confirmed stuff.
Yeah, I have no idea. We have not put the status ourselves on confirmed.
Awesome.
Like the ducks. I have no idea.
Ducks? Oh, confirmed. Nice.
Yeah.
We'll
So
get
that's
on
what
that.
we will do on Monday, I guess. Yeah.
All right.
um. Yeah. Let's talk about wormholes.
Wormholes.
Yeah.
We don't really have the concept of wormholes in the game, really.
No. We have black holes.
We have black holes. That's kind of the first thing you see in the game.
Yeah,
Technically.
it's true. But that's only like sucking everything and destroying everything, really.
Yeah.
It's not like for teleportation kind of thing.
Yeah. So
No.
no wormholes.
No worms.
This is a great idea. Okay, let's see. Random chance of good Samaritans versus pirates, etc.
Yeah.
Repel borders and then take their fuel, etc.
We
Kinda.
Yeah.
We have different kind of destinations that you'll encounter, and
Hmm.
one of them is actually helping out a ship that's being attacked by pirates or bad guys. And
So there is an option for you, like when playing the game, like visiting some of the destinations. If you're gonna take a stance, like helping the one with the distress call or not.
Yeah.
And then maybe they will offer you something or not. Like
Yeah.
it's up to you as a player if you want to do that kind of like risk reward thing. Yeah.
So in a way, yes. I think weather events maybe like a meteor shower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's the
That's
only thing confirmed.
confirmed.
That's
That's been confirmed.
Yes.
Perfect. You're on it.
Yes.
Add more crabs, please.
No crap.
Crabs.
We do have a spider
Like-
ish. Yeah.
Oh, we could just skin them.
Or into orange.
Are crabs spiders, but in the sea? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe.
Something else that would be cool would be a barter system where enemies like pirates can be talked out of immediately shooting you.
I am.
Mm.
We don't have anything like that. All the enemies you're fighting are actually machines.
Yeah.
So you can't really barter with a machine.
No.
That's a flat no.
Flat no. Alien friends. Smiley face.
You have friends, but not alien friends.
Yeah, you have real life friends that you play with.
Hopefully.
Yeah. No AI friends. Or well, actually, there's a robot you can deploy that gives you health.
Yeah.
That's a friend. That's a good friend. I
Yeah,
would say.
it's not an alien.
Core.
Yeah. The
Core
core.
is a friend. Still not an alien.
That's good.
Since humanoids are not the plan, we perhaps yes.
Yeah.
We definitely want humanoids as enemies. They could be. We'll share the story at a later date, but
Yeah.
there is space in the universe for having human enemies as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh,
We when we initially talked about this game, we talked about different factions. That you're part of the Ethereum faction in this
Yes.
game, and obviously we're thinking about other factions.
Yeah.
There could be humanoids or non-humanoids. We'll see eventually.
Yeah, but blowing up humanoid space criminals is something we want.
Sure.
But when we cannot promise anything.
No.
This one has been confirmed. That's the director.
Yep.
Good question from the chat.
If giant spaceships counts as a boss,
They could be.
we do have large spaceships that
Yeah.
are boss fights. But I have a dream of having them showing up every now and then.
They
which
should
we
be.
will make.
they will be like big scary enemies rather
Yes.
than specific bosses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess this is kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Big stuff. We want it.
Yeah, there are. Alien Ultimate Mothership, so there's no space aliens at this point.
Raptor Bishop seems to have a really nice suggestion. It was not me.
Okay.
Oh, is it like plant thing? So Henrik, you want to tell about that? Your prototype.
Well, I got the idea from my good friend over here that it would be cool to pick up like seeds and kind of grow your own flowers in the ship. So I made a quick prototype of it and it works. I've since removed it actually, but the idea is there. And I think it would be really cool to kind of gather objects along your mission.
It could be like a side quest.
Yeah, and it doesn't might not really serve a big purpose
No,
in the
just-
grand scheme of things, but it would be nice to just water it, and if you forget to water it, it dies, and then you blame your friends. And
Yeah, I know those kind of side activities.
Yeah.
Probably won't happen in the first version of the game, but I'm pretty confident it will happen at some point.
yeah, for sure.
It would be like part of like the reason maybe for some of the players to explore different specific areas or regions of the galaxy. Like, I do know that these seeds or these plants are only available at that place in the universe. Yeah, but maybe in the future.
Yeah, the pet feature, it says possible, and I'm like, yeah, we'll see. I just said I'm gonna secretly put in my cats somehow. I'll figure out a way. That does not mean
Just
that
a
pets are confirmed.
There could be a photo of them. So
Yeah.
that's
Rare meteor storms. Yes, that's confirmed. Yeah.
Yep.
Feature creep is really hard, but a lore section for the world's events.
Like a book
backstory. Yeah, like some notes here
so-
and there lying around.
Yeah, we have some lore behind the game, but it's not really like you can sit and read a codex.
No.
But there are story
Yeah,
cutscenes.
yeah,
Yeah.
There are some kind of like
There is a story somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're like ships
yeah.
you just saw. Giant Hulk, yes. Carriers, yes. Giant. No, wait. That's all it. Anything you can fly into a massive ship, board them while on your ship.
blah, blah,
Yes, you
blah, blah.
will.
Wait, repeat. What are you reading here?
Yeah, sorry, I got quiet. Can you fly into a massive ship and board it? The trailer shows small ships, but they would be cool with like a mothership. Yeah. So we do have in the early access version, we have like missions that is to board very large cargo ships and
Yes.
steal cargo. So
Yes.
and we're definitely gonna expand on that.
All right. I think if specialized encounters are considered, I really like the idea myself. That's not me saying it, that's reading. A weaker but still potent version of the specialized mechanic should be available within the arena. Potentially not TO the arena, but at least present.
I'm not really sure. Specialized encounters. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, need more info.
Yeah. Is there a?
Do you have a
It
need
probably
more
was added
info?
like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Something.
Let's check the date here.
But, damn it. Okay, it's kind of new.
Right. Please return. And
Let's just say that implemented.
what?
Is it? Okay.
Also, perhaps easier for the devs to build around things you'll find in an arena than permanent upgrades.
It
I
sounds
would
like
be happy for the special.
it doesn't sound like an entry. It just sounds like a response to something.
Yeah.
Not sure.
Not sure.
Let's do two more and return back to the chat and talk for an additional 5 minutes and cut it at
Fair enough.
6:30.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Otherwise, we can continue for all night.
Yeah.
We'll have to save some content for
Yes,
another
yes.
day.
We want to do this more often.
i.e. for your poisoned arena idea.
This is a conversation we
Yeah. It's like a conversation with parts removed. An abandoned inoculation station at the edge of the arena would be a good compromise for teams not specialized into medical kits. The station would only need 1 or 2 players multi-tool to be utilized.
Yeah. I don't know how to answer that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, this is also part of the. Let's.
Yeah. On one hand, yeah, you're still in a response.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree. Okay.
Wait. Seeing the light in dark environment, don't be thinking. Go the 2 up. This one. This one you can probably answer.
If there were lights on the ship, it would be cool if the ambient light in the environment was even darker. It would give a reason for pilot to carefully So some levels will be very dark, and then or foggy, and sometimes your sensors might be damaged and stuff like that. Then the lights on the ship will be turned on.
Yeah. And we do have a destination with flashes, lighting flashes.
We do. Actually, literally, we do.
Going underwater? No.
Underwater? No.
No.
Underwater.
All right. Back to the chat.
Next to the chat. Will there be Easter eggs? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's already Easter eggs in there.
Yeah, it's like you guys are putting in Easter eggs.
Yeah, without telling anyone.
Yeah. And I keep talking about my cats. That's definitely going to be one of those Easter eggs. What does the risk reward look for this game? If the players take harder missions or do more in the game, yes, they will scale depending on the challenge rating or the difficulty. For sure.
Different planet terrain types. Yes, we do have like ice worlds and deserts and what else do we have?
Like moon-like landscapes, like just empty rock.
Yeah, big asteroids, all that stuff.
Volcano kind
Different
of style.
types of weapons. So, I mean, in your hands, we are now we start off on early access. We'll have sort of the standard kit of what you would expect. So you have like kind of marksman rifle, shotgun, SMG, assault rifle, pistol, that kind of stuff.
Rocket launcher,
and then like the giant railgun, which can shoot enemy ships with. But we will definitely build on that as we go along. On the spaceship, the player ship, there is plenty of weapons as well. Everything from missile launchers to large rail guns to this kind of turrets, and then the pilot can control a couple of cannons as well. There's like quite a large variety there that we're planning. Most of the stuff that you would expect in sort of like this standard kind of space fantasy would probably be in there. Among Us shenanigans. I would love that. We don't have it, but at some point we'll figure it out.
See some mistrust within the crew.
Yeah. Will there be more or less loading screens
than in Starfield?
The only loading screens are when you're making a jump.
Yeah. And we kind of hide it behind a cool cinematic.
Yeah, they usually, if you have a normal computer, like a modern computer, is like a couple of seconds. Yeah.
Random vendor trader encounters. That's something we've been talking about. We haven't implemented it yet, but it's kind of there to be explored to see what we can.
Yeah, it's in the prototyping stage, but probably, I would say.
Yeah.
How exactly does the upgrade system for the ship work? You find upgrades after completing missions, and then you can just keep them forever. Is there a limit to how many you can use at the same time? So, you have different weapons, like I mentioned, missile launchers and turrets and all that stuff. Those are things you unlock in your hangar after completing a mission. And your ship has slots. Some ships might have different amount of slots than others. And you also remember I showed in the beginning of the stream the power grid. So you cannot just take the biggest and baddest guns and jam them onto your ship. You have to consider, how much power they take. So there is a compromise there to be had. Oh yeah, it's all alarms and stuff smoking. But here is the power grid, right? So if you pick a big gun or a powerful item of some sort, like a component, they will draw more power. But you cannot fit all the most powerful stuff onto this board. So you always have to make some compromises when equipping your ship.
Yes, gonna feed my friend.
Yeah. So that's the short answer to that.
Yeah. Let's take one more last question.
Okay, so
One
write
more.
the most intelligent question you
Make it count.
When the game releases in early access next year, any idea when you're any idea what your update, new features, bug fixes, cadence will be like every 2 weeks, whenever it's ready, etc.
So we expect that small bug fixes, especially right after early access, will probably be very small and very frequent fixes.
Yeah, I think that's very important to be very like attentive at the beginning of the
Yeah.
launch. Like, oh shit, if like for instance, like keyboard remapping doesn't work, like that's something we want to fix instantly.
Yeah, so let's say, oh, the game doesn't quite work with a certain sort of screen aspect ratio, for example, or a certain keyboard or whatever.
Yeah.
Or language, like Cyrillic maybe doesn't work. Like that's something we would instantly try to fix.
Yeah.
In terms of content, like cool new hats or new levels and ships, we sort of align the production to be able to make new levels and stuff like that very, very fast.
Yeah.
But it's hard to kind of go, oh yeah, every week. It's not going to happen. Maybe
No.
every month, maybe every 2-3 months, something like that.
Yeah, and I think that's something we will learn while we're in early access, like how much is enough.
Yeah.
And how
And kind of what kind of content as
exactly
well.
like we don't know that yet, really. And I think it's like you can also see it as like two streams, parallel streams. Like one is like maybe like quick quality of life fixes, and the other stream is like bigger chunks of content being worked in parallel.
Yeah.
While we're doing these kind of like quick fixes to make sure the game is stable enough to play as it is right now, versus what will come in the future.
Right. But I guess, is that the last one?
Unless you want to go for one last.
Are you able to show the character customization? I am, but I will not.
Tune in next time, maybe.
Tune in
exactly.
next time. Can't show the whole game in one go.
We need to save something next time.
True.
What are the sales level you're hoping for? Well, I hope for 10 million.
Boom.
20, I'm hoping for 20 million.
So go and buy a lot of copies
Yeah.
for friends and family.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you all for watching. This was very fun.
It was great. Yeah.
We'll see what the feedback is from this and how can we iterate on this.
Please never do it again. Okay.
Yeah. Drop a line here in Discord what you think of the stream.
Yeah,
if
and
the
this
format was
session-
working,
Yeah.
if we were too spontaneous.
Yeah.
There's certain things you want to see for next time.
Yeah.
Give us your feedback. I mean, this is the first time for us, so
This session is recorded. It will be uploaded as well.
Yeah.
To YouTube or whatever.
And Stenbeck, go and have a party with your friends.
Thank you,
Don't sit
Pat.
here and chat.
And
Awesome.
great to see your game out, Pat, as well. Great achievement.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye bye.
See you next time.
Bye bye. Have a nice evening.